Welcome to Vegas Live. I'm Ninon, your host, and we're down at the Pepper Mill in Las Vegas, Las Vegas Boulevard. This is one of the oldest restaurants and probably one of the most well-known restaurants in Vegas, and I will probably have to say around the world, because everybody from around the world comes to Vegas and they always come to the Pepper Mill, so this place is known all over the world. We are fortunate enough to be able to film our show out of Pepper Mill, and it's just amazing that we have this incredible opportunity. And the reason we do it is we're trying to bring all the entertainment people that come to Vegas to give them some exposure of what is going on and what is happening and who they are and what they are. So as you can probably see without me telling you that I have a young man with me, and he looks very much like Michael Jackson. Ha ha ha, maybe he is, let's find out. I'm sure he is. His name is Brandon Michael. Brandon, how are you?
Very good, how are you?
Absolutely amazing, and I was shocked because you really look so much like him.
Thank you.
And obviously, is everybody saying that?
A little bit.
A little bit, which means you haven't been out that long. How long have you been doing this Michael Jackson?
I've been doing it since I was 7, but
He's only 8. No, I'm kidding.
12. No.
12 going on 21.
No, but I've been with the Moonwalker cast for about 3 years now.
Oh, really? So the Moonwalker cast, which is a cast, and I do believe you are appearing this Friday at the Silverton,
Yes, we
on
are.
Las Vegas Boulevard. Silverton Casino, that's on Las Vegas Boulevard. I believe it's on Diamond. I think that's the cover of is Diamond. Blue Diamond, actually, is where the actual casino is. Are you excited about this appearance?
I am.
Is this going to be one of your bigger appearances, or?
It is.
It is?
I have some surprises for the show. Some big surprises for the
So
show.
when he says he's going to have surprises for the show, well, that means the show isn't until Friday, which means you're going to give me a few of those surprises, because we're not actually putting it on air until probably about Friday. Probably I'll get my producer to probably put it on Thursday so that we can advertise where you're going to be. Can I know about some of these surprises? He's thinking about it.
They're costumes.
Oh, the costumes.
They're just more elaborate costumes that I thought
Than
they-
usually worn, and there are more of them. Are the costumes related to the show he was going to do before he passed away?
I'm doing a more of a mix of a homage of that tour and the Victor tour. So more of his early years.
More of his early years of how he is. Now, what made you, at 7 years old, to decide you wanted to sort of take on Michael Jackson?
It was a talent show.
Oh, really?
And yes.
Your mom put you in, right?
No. I came home and I said I needed something to do. And I was watching Motown 25. And I looked at my dad and I was like, I want to do that. And he was like, for what? I was like, for the talent show. He was like, a lot of practice comes with that. He was like, you sure you don't want to do the ABCs? So, I did literally everything I could. Michael came before homework sometimes when it came to practicing.
I would personally say it's a good choice, but then, that's just how I talk about it. Because, let's face it, schoolwork can be pretty boring. You have a choice of schoolwork or being Michael Jackson. Hello, we know the answer on that one.
But then my mom got on me, so.
Oh yeah, mums always do, don't they? They have that knacky way of doing that. But she still encouraged you, did she?
She did. She actually made my first costume. She made the Motown 25 costume.
The Motown 25 costume she made for you. Did she not? Oh, did you win the competition?
I did.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I figured that because I think so. She made the costume exactly what it was supposed to be because she knew what it was and everything else. And how sure were you going into this competition and winning?
I was nervous. I mean, I think it was the first time being on stage and filling those shoes. It's a big job. So I mean, it was.
You practiced and practiced.
I did not know I was good enough at the first. Like, I was
Really?
on stage, and then when everybody started screaming, I just kind of...
Then
Just
that gave
took
you
it
the
in.
encouragement, and then you said, well, hang
And I
on a
loved
second,
it.
this
Yeah.
really is working.
I loved it.
I really, and I loved every bit of it. And then what was your next thing from there? Sort of seven, so you've now won a prize at a very young age, your first one on stage,
I
winning
started
it.
doing different parties and weddings and black parties and just.
And you started getting bookings, lots of bookings. Now, with all these bookings, were you paid for that?
Yes.
That's what I'd like to hear, because so many times with the younger generation, I had a show for the younger generation for 16 years, and a lot of them didn't get paid because it was experience. And I've never really cared for that. I always think, pay the young ones because they're putting their effort into it. And also it gives you the foundation of knowing that this is a business, because what you're doing is actually your business as well as entertaining. And they look as if they're two different things, but they're really not. Because if you don't take charge of it as a business,
that's a hobby.
It becomes a hobby. There you are. And then you really don't sort of, I don't think people put as much into it because there's no money, there's no excitement, there's no drawing you to it, to what you want to do.
Sure.
So what was your next move after that?
After that, I actually took a break.
He was so excited. I bet.
Sadly, I took a break because the trial started and the calls stopped. So people stopped wanting money.
They stopped. Oh, really? So you were So Brandon was one of the people that had actually experienced that they didn't want Michael.
And I experienced that at like 9 years old, so I didn't really understand it.
You didn't understand it, and it kind of hit you in a strange way? Did you ask your mum about it? What happened and why?
Yeah, I mean, she told me what she could without...
With what she knew, yeah.
Breaking
your heart or breaking your vision.
Exactly, yeah. So then I became like a normal kid for like 2 years, and then I started working on my
normal kid. I don't know what that means. What is a normal kid?
Like
not
playing
doing
outside, and
same with the other kids.
Practice came before anything, so it was. I pretty much had the same life as Michael Jackson.
Secluded and practicing and working, because that's what he went through.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm sure people know that out there, but when you're in the entertainment business, when you're very young, you still have to practice, you still have to do all that thing as well as do your homework and do whatever you need to do. So that was pretty hard on you.
Yeah.
So the 2-year break was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, of course.
So what made you decide that although he's now he could never lose his name. Believe me, this guy never loses it, although he wasn't out there. What made you go back into it and say, I'm going to go and try it again?
Sadly, I did a tribute because he passed away. So I was 15, and...
Is it that long since he passed away? I'm listening to this, and he said, I did a tribute of his passing, and I'm thinking, wait a second, but you're that young. Brandon is only 21, right? So this was all a bit of a shock for you.
I had to actually go to the studio that day because I was recording my own music, and I couldn't really react. And my vocal coach actually called me and told me Michael Jackson passed away, and I thought he was kidding. But I went to the studio, and the record didn't come out so much like I liked it. So we kind of scrapped it because I couldn't really put everything into it.
You couldn't put all your feelings into it as of knowing what you knew now.
And 2 weeks later, my uncle was in the kitchen, and he was like, man, you look like Mike. And I was like, dude, I don't need that right now. And I just broke, and I cried like I lost a family member.
How sad for it really hit you hard. So do you feel that you had a kind of an inner connection to him?
In a way, yeah, I do. With the way he just loved and just...
So do you think right now, I haven't seen you perform yet, and I'm sure I'm going to be nicely surprised because it seems that way. Do you think that you've kind of, I don't want to say taken over from him, because nobody can really do that, because he was his own individual, amazing person. But do you think you're sort of close enough to actually sort of give him that, say, you haven't really gone, but I'm going to try to do the best I can?
I actually feel like I channel him sometimes on stage. I mean, I really don't remember too much when I'm on, like when I come off the stage. Mm-hmm. I don't remember too much of
what you've just done.
What I've done, yeah.
But you know it's right, what you've done. But you know it's his kind of, I want to say his image.
In a way.
And you're portraying this image in the most beautiful way you can. And with all the feelings you have of going to court and having the trial, and then passing away, you have kind of a little bit deeper feelings as a young person.
Yes.
You're looking at through children's eyes, but you were just a child.
I was.
So what have you done recently? We're going to go on to another note, actually, of, you know, where you're going. And I know that you have a producer here, so we're going to probably cut a little bit right now. But before we cut, do you feel that this is just the beginning of your career and you're sort of going up there? Do you feel that in your gut?
Even though I've been in it for about 12 years, it feels like this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning, because I feel it. I feel that you've had all these tragedies, because they've been tragedies, but you've also continued, and something has driven within you, not to stop it, but to continue it. And that's what you truly want to do. That's amazing. Well, we have Brandon Michael with us, and apparently he's going to be performing at the Silverton this coming Friday in Las Vegas, obviously. And we're going to also bring in his producer, so we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Vegas Live, and yes, we have another gentleman with us, and actually he's one of the producers for Brandon Michael to do the show, and his name is Eric Martin. Eric, how are you?
I'm very well. Nice to be here.
It's lovely to have you, and
Thank
this
you.
is a bit of a surprise, because I didn't think I would get to have his... You're not the manager, you're more of the producer.
Yeah. I co-produced the show with John and Linda Collins.
John and Linda Collins are the full producers of the show,
Yeah.
and they're putting the show together for this coming Friday at the Silverton.
This Friday at Silverton at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
John and Linda and myself are the co-producers of Moonwalker. It's been a project of love for quite a long time. Actually, we started working on this right after Michael passed.
Really? So
we're the longest, I believe, probably the longest running touring show that's out there.
Amazing.
Most of the shows that we do are traveling shows, and we're happy to be here in our hometown.
Absolutely, yes.
Vegas.
I got lucky. I kind of got them before they go traveling again. And of course, Brandon, you know, you're doing an incredible job, and we just had a little bit about what his sort of history has been, which is he's only 21, but he's had quite a history, quite a lot going on. But also, this is kind of just the beginning, isn't it, Eric? It's kind of, it looks like it's going sort of, you know, all uphill, and it's going to be fabulous.
Well, yeah, as far as Michael, it's always evolving. We're always trying to make the show better, what we can do to change. We can add this, change this production-wise, and that's what's taken place over the last six
And is
years.
that, are you trying to put it like the show that he was going to have? Remember, the show that didn't come out, but we've all sort of seen parts of it and bits of it, you know, of what he did. Are you relating that way, or trying to get your own image?
Well, I mean, my background is in musical theater, and I'm a very theatrical person. So if and Brandon and I, we have quite a very strong relationship. So he's not only is he an amazing look and talent and performer,
amazing, yes,
but he is so artistic. He's a great painter, a great artist, and he has great vision. He can make a lot of his costumes himself, and we share a vision together. And if we had the budget to do, I mean, obviously, This Is It was spectacular, what Michael was going to do.
Well, yes, but it didn't cost
England.
$100,000. It cost millions.
Yeah,
I mean,
millions.
come on.
But in a scaled down version, that would
Yes.
be the direction that we're trying to achieve.
And giving Michael Jackson that honor
Absolutely.
of being as
Absolutely.
close as possible.
Absolutely. But we're always trying to think outside the box and not just be a Madame Tussauds, a look-alike show.
No. But this is more of a tribute to him.
It's a tribute to Michael.
Yeah, this is
it's a tribute to Michael. And what's great about a tribute is that no one is trying to be Michael.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what a tribute.
Brandon.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. That's why I'm calling it a tribute, because we get very, very confused with impersonators and tributes. So I know that you're doing a tribute to him. You don't have to be exactly like him. You just happen to look like him, and you really do. I mean, it's just amazing. But you're also giving him that honorability of continuing his dream.
Well, it's the music of Michael Jackson is timeless, and
Yes.
so the audience, they're coming to pay homage to Michael and listen to the music, and it's
he's
done
presenting
through his presentation.
Brandon, through Brandon putting
But
his
it's
efforts
Brandon's soul, it's Brandon's effort on stage. We're not trying to be robotic,
No.
Michael Jackson
No.
impersonators.
No.
It's Brandon Jones. It's Brandon Michael Jones' spirit. It's
Yes.
but in invoking the spirit of Michael Jackson, and the music, like I said, is timeless. And we have, over the last 6 years, I don't know, it's done many shows throughout the
Now,
United
at the
States.
moment you're in Vegas at the moment, but you're traveling through all the states.
Well, not all the states, but we have
Where you have bookings?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
bookings. Most of our bookings have been. Well, it's been all over the country. We don't do as much East Coast. It's Midwest to the West, but the show, like I said, I believe is the longest running touring Michael Jackson tribute show that's out there.
That's amazing. So how do you feel about that? That's kind of an honor to you now.
I love it. I just love the reactions that we get when, after the show is over. It's just...
What's the biggest performance you've actually had with people attending? A couple of thousand?
Oh, we've had bigger shows than that. It's just it's
See, I
every
love to
venue.
have
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
amazing. So you're not small,
And
you're big.
and Catherine has met Michael's mother has met Brandon.
Oh really? Oh, what was that experience? Looking at her and watching her, and her looking at you, thinking, "Wow, you look just like Michael."
Actually, it's a funny story. It's a small story. I performed at the house in Gary in '09, and she said it was too real to watch. I did Man the Mirror, and she had to go inside.
Really? Because you were just such that image of him.
And Joe asked the woman that used to make my clothes, why does that Joker look like my son?
Wow. So
And
when this was all said, how did you feel?
it was, at the time, I got cocky because it was like a stamp, and I was like,
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on
and I
a
was so
second.
young, so I was like, okay.
Not quite understanding
yeah.
the meaning of it,
But
but you
then-
do now.
Yeah, now it's a stamp
Resonates.
that I'll hold forever because it's his parents'
Son.
yeah.
It's the
And
parent's
it's
son,
just-
and if we understand, if we go a little deeper into the minds of people, it's something that you were not trying to take over. You can't help how you look. You can't help how you're doing it, and it's just coming out so real that I guess seeing it, and I'm sure any mother would feel the same way, like, this is just too real for me to take or
Well,
to
and-
understand.
And it's understandable because, you see a lot of Michaels that are out there put on a ton of makeup to become
doesn't have
Michael.
any
This is
makeup.
almost natural.
Yeah, you just got a little powder on, that's all. But
Yeah.
this is like
It's-
you
it's
are.
eerie.
But it's the look, it's the eyes you have, it's the look he has
And
when
the
he looks
smile.
at you, and that.
And the
Yes.
smile.
Yeah, yeah. It's. Did you try to practice to be like that, or did it just naturally come, kind of? Because I know you put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, I've studied mannerisms, but naturally, I'm naturally shy, like Michael. I'm just naturally him in a way. It's
Yeah.
just it's
It's
a
just his
weird.
image, it's
Yeah, like I don't really try to be him. Like I don't try to go outside dressing like him. Like I
No.
don't. Like when I'm off, I'm off. Like you won't even know it's me.
yeah. There you go.
Like, you know, like,
He's hiding under cover there.
I mean, I do get
He's
stared
becoming
at.
somebody else, which is his real self.
Yeah. I do get stared at, and I mean it's
It's
a
getting.
little
Is
weird.
it? Do you feel it's getting sort of more and more of really looking like him, even if you don't dress like him? Because he didn't dress like this. When he
No.
went out on the streets, he just dressed in regular clothes that he liked.
But like like I don't go outside with my fedora on with regular clothes.
Right.
Like that's just asking for attention.
Yes.
It's just like. But yeah, it's just I don't try to do too much when I'm off because it's like let me make your day on stage.
Yeah. Oh, good. So you do actually, which is a very, very good idea. So you met up with Brandon through your friends, and why did you take this on?
Well, I met John and Linda Collins, my co-producers,
Yes.
quite a while ago. They're very, very successful as agents and representing bands and musicians and singers and a lot in the tribute world. And I met John and Linda originally in that genre, in the tribute world, because I've been in town a long time and done my own tribute. And that's how I originally met John and Linda. And I've produced and written some shows for them in the past. Well, they were doing a Motown show up in Seattle, and they had a Michael in the show, and they asked if I would consider coming on, writing the show, directing the show, and putting it on. And we did, and it was very successful. After that, we became partners in this venture of just putting a Michael Jackson show out there. And there are many of them.
Is there quite a few out there?
There's quite a
Do
few.
you have competition?
Well,
He doesn't have competition.
No, he doesn't have competition.
He doesn't have competition. Believe
who
me,
else looks
he
like
does not
this?
have. He does not have. They have competition.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Who looks like this?
I mean, that's one thing. I mean, I don't like to call it a competition because love isn't a competition.
It's all about love.
I mean, if you put the energy, I mean, if you really put your energy into it, there's nothing that you can't do.
And nothing anybody can take away
So
from you
love
either.
is just-
They can't. You
love
see,
is
when you
powerful.
have such a natural thing going on, nobody can actually take that away from you, because it is what it is.
Okay.
And it's like, a lot of people want to be like I do my show. They want to have my show, and I said, well, go ahead, do your own show. But you're never going to be a Ninon.
That's right.
And I hope they don't want to be a Ninon, because it's really quite a lot to cover, and you really don't want to go that way. Be yourself, believe me. Because there's a lot to cover, it's a lot to do. So you are just your natural person doing your natural thing. Do you like working in Vegas, by the way? Have you worked here before?
I have not.
You have not?
This will be the first.
This is the first
this will be
time,
my
so
first
don't
show in Vegas.
So don't forget, we've got to get out there, and that's at the Silverton, and it's off the Blue Diamond, on the 15 freeway off Blue Diamond. That's this coming Friday. What date is that? That's March
That's
what?
the 11th.
March the 11th. Okay, so
8
don't-
o'clock. 8 o'clock.
March the 11th at 8 o'clock. I believe the show actually starts at 6 o'clock, and there's a few things happening before. I believe it was right up in the paper that I read.
Okay.
It was, that people could start coming at 6 o'clock. I guess probably to get a seat, I would imagine.
They can
to
come at
get a
2
good-
o'clock if they like, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty busy. So are you excited, like
I am.
performing in Vegas? And you're performing at a very big hotel. You're not
This
some little
is-
hotel around the corner.
This is one for the books.
Is this something
good.
you've been
This
waiting
is
for?
good. This is.
See how his face lights up. I love to see this. This is his, he gets all, just a few minutes
This
ago
is-
he was all serious, and I thought, aha. But now you're getting really
This is
excited
good.
about this. So is it just the one night, or is it
Sadly.
no, wait a minute. That's from one night, they see what you are and what you bring in and who you are, and then you'll start getting rebooked again. And so people have got to see you. I mean, they can't, that's, he's got his fingers crossed, but I have too for him as well. And where do you go after this? Do you go back? You're from Chicago, right?
Yes. Yes.
See, Bob Bailey Entertainment, Bob Bailey. Don't forget, this is the guy I want to introduce you to. His name is Michael Brandon. How about twisting that around? How about Brandon Michael? Brandon Michael Jones.
Correct.
Yes, got it right.
Yeah.
Eric Martin. I try to get them all right. It's tough when you have all these new names and everything. They just suddenly come to you and you've got to remember them all. Some of them are pretty hard, but that's my job.
One of the good things I want to mention about Moonwalker, if we got a second.
Yes, let's do Moonwalker, absolutely.
Besides how great Brandon is that we are blessed to have an incredible cast, and our musical director is a Grammy Award-winning musical director. He's a bass player, singer. He's played with Usher. So we have an incredible core.
Yes.
That
you've got together
of the band, dancers, singers, and it makes the evening just an experience because of how good everybody else is in support of Brandon.
I was just going to say, because they're all playing because of you. So, it's kind of an honor to you that you're that good that they will say yes. Because these people you're mentioning do not play or work with anybody.
That's correct.
They choose, actually, who they can work with and who they are. So they see how you perform, they see what you're like, and they said, we're going to do that.
And the other part of that is that a lot of our cast have been with us for the full 6 years that we've been working on this project. So it's more like a family than it is
Well, I
just
think
a hired.
as much as we want to call it a family, I think what it is, it's experience, and I think it's also for what you all bring to the table, which is something very high end and something very, very good, and this is what they like. So when they see they're in I'm not going to say a winning performance, but it is a winning performance, but it's only a winning performance because of all the people in it.
Absolutely.
So with all of you collaborating together, which is absolutely amazing, when you get a bunch of people together, especially in the music business, you really cannot go wrong. And to honor you with this, Brandon, I know he deserves it because I can see by his face, I know how he talks, and it's just amazing because you kind of have pulled that together for yourself and for Eric, and it's like, you know, how did you find Brandon?
Well, actually, Linda, a co-producer, found Brandon had been keeping tabs on him when he was younger, and
So you didn't know that, right? See?
been keeping tabs on him, and we've worked with several Michaels in
Yeah,
the Moonwalker
as you said,
experience,
yeah.
different Michaels, and as Brandon is being kept tabs on by Linda as he's
And
gotten
got old
older,
enough
a
to
little
do it,
older,
too.
and you know he's such a handsome man, and he's 21 years old, which was the age Michael was when he released the Off the Wall album.
Yes.
And you know, what's great about Brandon is he can cover that look, the late 70s, early
Yes.
80s. But
And
he's
move-
also
also
has the
move
bad
into-
era,
yes.
just naturally has the bad era look when Michael was 30.
Yeah.
So he encompasses quite a range. But when he got old enough, I think he's been with us since he was 18. So
Nice age, yeah.
we're traveling and we're playing casinos, just waiting for him to turn 21 so he can go in a
Correct,
casino. We're
to a
performing in the
casino.
casino, but we had to sign all these releases. He's underage, but now he's
over 21, now he can go anywhere.
That's
so
right.
when they actually wanted to book you and do all this, was this kind of a surprise for you? I mean, you must have been
It was.
very excited because you obviously researched them and saw who they are and what they are and found out that they're pretty high up
Yes,
there.
it was actually, it's funny, I had a show for his birthday, and I got the call the next day that I needed to go to Vegas for an audition.
Wow,
And when I looked up who it was,
got all excited.
I did because
Can you imagine 18
I was
years old
already
and you get this
watching-
call?
Well, it's funny because I was already watching Michael Firestone videos of when he was when he was with Moonwalker. So when I was watching him, it was just he made me want to get back into it. So when I finally got the chance when they called me, I was like, okay,
You're ready.
I'm there, yeah,
You're
I'm
ready.
there.
You were ready. That was amazing. So on that, we have to close out. But what an amazing story. Moonwalker, and that's at the Silverton this Friday, and that'll be March the 11th. I believe doors open at 6 o'clock, but you can get there earlier. But he actually performs around 8 o'clock. So thank you, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brandon. Two amazing people. I'm gonna be watching this guy. Believe me. Maybe I'll get a few more of your people that are in the band. Maybe I can get them
Absolutely.
on our show. If they're still in
Absolutely.
town this coming Tuesday, we'll get them on. Some of them.
There may be some of the dancers will be here. I think that because our show is comprised of talent from throughout the United States,
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Let's give them a
Arizona.
break. Let's get them on and get them on
Get them on
Facebook,
down
and we'll
here.
get them on down. We'll get them on
Yeah.
Vegas Live, and of course we film out of the Pepper Mill, which is on Las Vegas Boulevard. We shall be right back with our next guest. We'll see you soon.